Everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is that time of the week when I do my Once Upon a Time recap. So this week's episode was called Our Decay, and it was definitely a Zelena-centric episode. Um, the episode basically starts off with Zelena in Oz, and she's trying to make her time travel curse that we saw back in season 3, and she needs the brain of the scarecrow, but Dorothy has come back, and she definitely looks pissed, and she puts the scarecrow under her protection and gets her away from the witch. And what we see then is what we saw from last week, is that Zelena is Hades' weakness, and Hades just appears. And it kind of shifts to present day Storybrooke, where Neil and Baby Hood are in the care of the nuns, and Belle comes in and gives them a bottle, which I don't get why she's in charge of that, but immediately she can tell us that's not Mother Superior, and it turns out it's Zelena. And how she got back from Oz, I'm not sure. Maybe they'll touch base on that. And suddenly this portal opens that was created by Hades in the underworld, because apparently he needs Zelena's baby to create the time travel spell, which that's what we're under the impression it's about. So Belle tries to protect the baby, but Belle and Baby Hood fall in, and then Zelena jumps in afterwards. So now Belle, Zelena, and Baby Hood are now in Underbrook. And we also see that Rumpel tells Belle that she is pregnant, and she has like a little moment of happiness until Rumpel reveals the whole him having to give up his second born child thing. So Belle is obviously crushed and devastated, and I honestly don't know how she puts up with Rumpel. She has like a lot of patience, and it was just astonishing that he even asked her to condone his dark deeds. I'm like, Belle is definitely too good for Rumpel. I don't know what she's going to do, honestly. But you see, also in Underbrook, they're all struggling. You see, Mary Margaret and David miss their son Neil, and they try to get a message to him, and I don't know why, it made me think of the movie Beetlejuice for some reason. And Henry is struggling to write the stories, and I'm a little bit confused with the whole author's pen thing, because when he writes, he doesn't remember what he wrote, so I'm not sure about that. Again, hopefully they'll touch base on that. But they see that Selena's there, and they're all shocked, and they automatically think that she's dead at first, but she reveals that she fell in the portal. So Robin, Regina, and Zelena go to look for the baby, and Regina tells Zelena that this is what she used to be like. She used to be so consumed with revenge that it left her alone. And they catch up. Well, actually, before I get to that, Zelena asks them what they named the baby, and I'm very curious myself, because it's been like how many episodes? You would have thought they'd named the baby by now. And Robin says, well, I have to know my daughter to know what to name her. And Zelena points out to Robin Hood that, well, you left her to go on this wild trip to search for a pirate, and Zelena does have a good point. I mean, this is your daughter. This is very hypocritical for Robin. I mean, you wanted to protect your daughter from Zelena, but then you just leave your daughter all by herself while you go search for this pirate who's not even your family. I just don't get that. So they eventually catch up with Belle and the baby, and they were a bit hesitant at first to let Zelena hold the baby, but they do, to feed her, and it turns out that it kind of looked like at first Zelena had her magic back, because, in Underbrook, you don't have your magic. And she takes off with the baby. I'm like, really? You guys just gave her the baby like that? And when Zelena's running away, she sees that she accidentally hurt the baby. Like, she has a little red mark on her cheek, and she feels awful about it. And she actually goes into hiding in her old house that she lived in Storybrooke, and she says that she has to let go, that she can't protect her child. She can't protect her child here. And it really shows character growth that Zelena is putting her child first and trusting Regina to love and protect her daughter. And what we find out is that, well, what we suspect is that Hades needs a baby for the time travel spell. But what we see in Oz in the past is that Hades is actually falling in love with Zelena. They have this deal going on that if Hades helps Zelena get the Scarecrow's brain, she'll help him in return. And they kind of have similar backstories because they're both jealous that their siblings, they didn't get what they wanted. You know, Hades' brother being Zeus, and Zelena, Cora giving up Zelena and not Regina. So they both didn't get what they wanted out of life. And they actually have, it looks like they have a nice first date, actually. It was a nice scene. They were riding on this bike and everything, which Zelena comments that it's like a broom on wheels, which I thought was hysterical. And, you know, Zelena gets the brain that she needed from the Scarecrow, and she doesn't see Hades anywhere. And she goes back to her, I don't know if you'd call it a castle, but her lair, and she sees that Hades has dinner ready for her, and he's saying that he's madly in love with her because, well, one of the ingredients he needs for the spell is true love, and he reveals to her how in love with her she is. I'm like, you can't marry a man. That makes me think you can't marry a man you just met. I mean, one night he's like madly in love with her, and Zelena does turn him away, and Hades is like, you'll regret this. And they have this scene where you think it's going to be a showdown between Zelena and Hades, but what we find out is that everything Hades did is for Zelena. He created Underbrook for Zelena because Zelena wanted what Regina had in Storybrooke. Well, he created the whole Underbrook for her, and he didn't want to use the baby for a time travel portal. He wanted the baby to protect the baby from the heroes. So now Zelena's all like, I gave up my baby for nothing. So now she's trying to get her baby back now. And Hades then says, April 15th, that's your birthday. So not only do we know Regina's birthday now we know Zelena's birthday. And he's like, how did you know that? He said, oh, I tortured it out of a miller's daughter. I'm like, oh, hell no. I hope you did not lay a hand on Cora, because I love Cora. And it looked like Zelena was actually happy he said that. So that makes me wonder with the whole Sisters episode coming up, if she's going to welcome Cora with open arms, or is she going to send her to a worse place for giving her up. I have no idea. So that's basically it for this week. The previews for next week, it shows hey, I think they're starting to think of how they could defeat Hades. They're gonna like think of how to defeat him, and Hades reveals that he reveals to Belle that the baby, the whole part of the deal situation. So I definitely think Hades is one sick, twisted villain, and I believe, as Hades would put it, I believe Zelena is brilliantly wicked. So that's it for this Once Upon a Time recap. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Once Upon a Time. If you want to catch Once Upon a Time, it is on Sundays, 8 p.m. on ABC. Like, subscribe, and remember, stay regal.